Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Thacker.
And I'm Leonka Reina.
And this is the Haute Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking with Suzanne Alexandria, and we are getting the question as to why so many of us star seeds are interested in Egypt and we feel it calling us. And I am definitely one of them. So it's a very fun conversation today.
I do agree.
Yeah.
Well, today's Mystic Space Weather News. So we've been talking about how NASA hasn't released the images because of the shutdown. And yesterday they had that press conference where they did release the images of the three-eye atlas. And dun dun dun, spoiler alert, it's just a big blob. In fact,
it's just a big blur of blob.
Blob, it's blurry, the cameras, all the things. So lots of people took to the social medias to talk about how bad NASA's images were. So was that on purpose? Was it just to kind of throw us off? It's just amazing how we've been waiting for this release, and they have a $24.5 million budget mainly to take images, and the images we got were just so fuzzy. It was just ridiculous. There were so many memes on the internet, but I just wanted to let you know that they are officially out and they are doing a lot of measurements. And so they'll report back on that soon. So the conspiracy theory still lives on.
Love it.
And we also have a little bit of Mystic Space Weather news in the form of our new moon. So we have, I know, and the Palladians are really coming through and talking about this time and how we are kind of traversing with our moon. And actually, this is the furthest the moon is going to be away from the Earth for the next, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's 42 years. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, and it's really, really interesting. And if you don't think that that also might affect you in some type of way, you should probably take a look because we are also always interconnected. So definitely want to take that time to observe how the sun is making you feel with those extra solar flares that had come out earlier last week with those beautiful auroras. And now we have the moon that seems to be very far away from us. But again, we are always interconnected. So connecting with the three-eye atlas and all of the conspiracy that goes on with that there. And that's what I got for today's Mystic Space Weather News.
And what I've got for Morning Brew with Woo. I talked a little bit about this on Tuesday, but it was brand new to me and it was still just wrapped. But this Thanksgiving, I am having dinner with my new family, bonded by marriage is what I'm calling them instead of in-laws.
Oh, I love that.
And there's this game that I was made aware of, and it's called We're Not Really Strangers. We took it out yesterday, and it's quite the personal development game. In fact, it came with a note from the creator of it that says you can play for real or you can play nice. I was like, well, I don't know that I have much of a privacy filter anymore, but let's go. One of the questions was like, what is something that you could, need to admit or could have, or admit something, I think it was. So you're like
a truth or dare.
Anyway, I'm sharing this and some other games that we're playing for the holidays on our Amazon page, and you can find that at amazon.houthustle.com. And I hope you would enjoy some of the things we're sharing because I'm sure enjoying sharing. We're also working on getting merch. It's a work in progress.
It is. So this is one of the iterations. I don't know if you can see it, but mine says the Morning Mystics, and it's so cute. I wish you could see it on this camera, but it's so fun. It goes with the t-shirts that we got.
Yeah.
And hers says shake your woo thing.
Yep.
And that's still one of my favorite little quotes and sayings.
And we just got an arrival of t-shirts yesterday. So I'm hoping to get some of them out to some of the people that I promised them to.
Hey, fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and I'm wearing my little 444 necklace. It's just one of my little signs to myself that the universe always shows up with to remind me that I am on path and just to keep going. So I love wearing this necklace. I actually got one for one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And her father just recently passed away. And for some reason, I knew to take it to her because she was just having a difficult time. And I was like, look at this beautiful angel necklace I brought you.
Yeah.
She's so excited. So it's just another way you can give somebody a gift.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got all of it in the Amazon shop. So
Yay.
amazon.houtehustle.com. Just if you just want to support the show and maybe a special offer isn't, suited for you, that's just a way to give back. So I hope that you enjoy us sharing it as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring Suzanne up.
Hi, Suzanne. And while she's bringing her up, I'm going to say a couple words about Suzanne. Suzanne is a spiritual coach, channel of the divine, and priestess of Isis. Through sacred activations plus deep soul attunements, she helps awaken women clear energetic blocks and access their divine guidance and rise into their fullest expression. As healers, leaders, and even more powerful business leaders, priestess of the divine feminine, she expertly trains therapists, healers, coaches, and professional women to heal in the Akashic records to empower their business lives and abilities and to offer their unique and intuitive gifts and to enhance the lives of themselves and the livelihoods of others. So that's beautiful, Suzanne. Thank you and welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's so good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving season to everyone.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about why us as Starseeds are so attracted to Egypt.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's so crazy. I was literally just thinking that same question the other day because I was reading an article about how they were going to kind of trim back on some of the tourist, they're just going to make it a little more organized because lots of people are, obviously flocking to Egypt. And I was hearing another speaker talk about they were like, oh, it's just so interesting that everyone kind of feels a connection to Egypt. And I was like, huh. And I don't know if I've ever really needed to go, but I definitely would love to go, right? And so this question, I have a feeling, Suzanne, is going to kind of unveil for us here today a little deeper though. So I'm curious into figuring out why is it that so many people have this connection to Egypt and why now?
Yeah.
And I all of us have some answers, right? All of us contribute to that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. We have Adam Apollo on the show who is just going to Egypt the same weekend as our event. And I was almost like, I'm going with you. And then I was like, not this year, I'm not. But I'm not one to just jump and go to a place like that. I know there are people that actually is their path and they like to do it that way. Why don't we talk a little bit about where you want to take this?
Yeah, so it came about. I also just had this discussion with some of the students from my program the other day, and who are all experts now in the Akashic records. And we literally were asking that. And one of them had just come back from Egypt, and another friend has just come back. And so I have my own understandings from my time. I was there just about 1 year ago with John Burgos, who he's our buddy. And so I think it's multi-tiered. And I want to talk a little bit about something some things I've channeled, but then also the personal connections. So that's where I would take it. And we can probably do activation of some sort too at some point.
Yeah. Well, I was Googling it yesterday and I was reading about it being really created on this sound and sacred geometry. Like the whole, I know that the pyramids are that way and they've proven it, but kind of that whole land is. And it makes me almost go, I wonder if this is where some of our alien ancestors had started before it was even documented. It was in some of those sacred scribes.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
look at a lot of the geometry, so Billy Carson is one who's really broken down a lot of the ley lines and all of the math
Yeah.
behind it. I mean, it is fascinating
Oh my
how
gosh.
precise everything is.
And
Even the
talking
different-
about this,
Mhm.
have any of you or anybody out there watched the Netflix series called Mary, the Mother of God, or the Mother of Jesus? Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you watch that? They
Well,
kept
I've read the
saying-
book. Is there actually a series?
It's with Anthony
Oh,
Hopkins.
Cool.
And it is like, I mean, it starts with them meeting like an alien that it calls himself Gabriel.
Ah, interesting.
And it was like, okay, so, an apparition is an apparition, right?
Yep.
But it was like, huh. And it really shows Mary as like just as powerful as Jesus.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
yeah,
For
it's
sure.
interesting. Uh-huh.
I
I-
mean, she conceived, she did this immaculate conception,
Conception.
priestess work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And in the series, the husband, Joseph, is like, saw her like across a river and like, which was just drawn to her, like that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like everyone around her saw the same apparition that this angel or something kept coming up to them. And I was like,
Yeah, that's what I
You
was
know,
thinking.
it's like, yeah, when the veils are gone, you're a little different. And then you say that you see it. And it was like a humna. It was like, no, I saw him in the flesh. And you're like, no, whatever. And we're like rolling our eyes.
But we don't
But
know.
now we're like, well, wait a second. If we're busting through all these belief systems,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he does say in the Bible, Jesus does say in the Bible, I am not of this earth. And so
Mhm.
I had made the argument to my 13-year-old son that perhaps it is
Jesus was an alien.
yeah, and it's exactly what I said. And he was like, and we were just talking about that kind of thing and the ideas. And then also we were talking about the apparition of Fatima. So that was the one that came in, was with the children and how it kept showing itself. And of course, the idea there is that if it was an alien, it would probably show itself or shapeshift into something that would be more acceptable or more not so frightening, right?
Right.
So you got the I think it was actually it was Mary that would show herself, and it could have been an alien that was utilizing that imagery in order to calm the people and to give them that prophecy. So it was very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like we might get a lot of Christian hate.
I am all about
I mean, we're this whole show is about testing every single belief system.
Sure.
And if you weren't taught these stories, if you weren't taught these narratives, what might you think and be more aligned with?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
What could you open yourself up to having the the truth? And I always have this conversation with my son because he goes to a Catholic school. I am such Catholic as well, and I love our faith. There's so many good things about it. So no hate mail needed here, but I also like to open up the idea for us to have some different discussions about, not everything is just the end all be all. And my son he says one of the wisest things, and I'll finish here, but he just said, he goes, Mom, he goes, there's so many similarities across the different religions and the stories, the fables, all of them seem to all kind of be telling the same things, either the stories of the flood and of the Messiah. He says, if there's love and prayer, why, in that place,
kindness and gratitude and
yes,
these higher frequencies, what does it really matter?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said what does it really matter, but you did see that there was the correlation of love. Yes. He insinuated.
Well, Suzanne, tell us what was kind of being unearthed through your group about Egypt.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. So I think where I want to start is just like with some historical perspective that I got recently, because somebody asked in my Thursday live call group, how have the Akashic records been used over the eons? And that was a really beautiful question. And so the guides came in and started showing us like a map of history, and it all, like, that story, that journey, let's call it, started in like the whole Fertile Crescent and Jerusalem area, that whole region, where it is like the cradle of humanity as far as historians know. And what they showed were different groups of beings colonizing at different times. Like Mesopotamia was, whether it was us, sometimes it was us in other lifetimes. I'm not saying it was distinctly different, but there were colonizations
Wonder if that's our
that came and did like bring energy and data and teachings and advancement for this earth. And we're planting codes. We hear so much now about the codes that are in crystals and that are all over the world and are all over. People are discovering them. And so that was one fascinating thing I wanted to just say, was like they showed Mesopotamia, the Fertile Crescent, Egypt, of course, and then the places like Machu Picchu and Chichen Itza. And so and I wanted to share one thing, speaking of religion too, somehow this plays into the fascinating story that all of it is telling us as we open to more. And I also grew up Methodist, so I have this whole faith background based in that, and I've expanded it. But once someone asked me what her relationship to the goddess Lakshmi was, and we told her through her Akashic records, but then they started to channel this information about how the Hindu religion, and I haven't really gone out there because who am I to say this, but they showed how the Hindu, stories and those tales, like your son is talking about, like they were channeled from a region sort of like would be like the Pleiades that we would know, like that was channeled in to that region, India, that area, to be like colonizing, bringing wisdom, bringing a way to think about constructs, about divine love, but also all the stories of the human journey, like human soul journey on this planet. And so, I mean, that's my understanding now of where that came from. And then we have like Christianity coming from what we know of it. I mean, that very clearly came from a certain group of beings that landed here and had created all of that. And if you read Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, you read that book?
I've heard that one.
That really talks about all the centuries leading up to his time. And it's really eye-opening as far as the magic and the way they could teleport and leave their bodies for 3 years at a time, like while someone tended to bodies in caves and stuff. Yeah, they were very cognizant, and they would choose like, okay, now I'm going to do this for 3 years and I'll be back into my body and stuff like that. And so anyway, I guess I wanted to share that as insights that have been coming over the years for me, and why, what I see, what a lot of us, this isn't just from me by all means, that now we're opening to the wonder of Egypt, where it's so mysterious and people are ready for some mystery of like, where did we come from? How could that have possibly be built? Was it built by aliens? It had to be. And like one of my clients, as we were channeling the other day about this topic, she said years ago she had a dream that she was in a spaceship and she brought the topper of the Pyramid of Giza and put it on the top, like from a spaceship.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
that is now in the Cairo Museum. And I bet, I
Yeah.
could touch that stone. And we were like, well, stranger things have happened. I mean, that as a dream, like how, just like, that's like
I was
when,
thinking that too.
yeah, like, she didn't just make that up. It came through for a very specific purpose. Whether that was her or she was reenacting it, who knows? But we all wonder, like, how the heck did they build those temples and
Yeah,
everything?
and it's like always been like one of the seven mysteries of the world or something, whatever they,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know that they were built by slaves. I really question that. Like,
Mm.
I don't know.
There's theories, but it makes me feel like,
Yeah. I mean, I think that there was a demise of what was the opulent light time of the lit up Egypt. So that definitely seems to have happened. And we were getting so in a nutshell, here's what I kind of wanted to say, and then we can have some discussion.
Okay.
So when I was there, I started first, I went and I connected with Isis, who I've always channeled in the Akashic records. It's a blessing. And so I went kind of for that connection as a priestess and had some very magical experiences with memories. And I just cried like on the boat on the way to her temple. I was just like
oh.
crying with the only place I really cried like that, just like, oh my gosh, I'm here. And so that's why I went. But when we got to the temple of Sekhmet in Karnak, it's we all of a sudden, I've told this a few times, but it plays into this whole thing. Like my vision, my clairvoyance turned on in a whole different way. And I started to see that
I've heard this.
You've heard this from Suzanne?
No, but I've heard this, like someone say this before. Go
Okay.
ahead, sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I talk about it a little bit, but like I started to see the ethereal.
Oh, yes. I remember you did tell us this.
I might have talked about it on our
Yeah.
last.
That your eyes were almost like
Yeah.
having filter.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And I could see spaceships up and down, like landing, like it was a very high vibrational place, just like we would imagine Atlantis and Lemuria. But, those were ethereal. I don't even know if we had physical bodies in those places, right?
Wow.
You imagine, I do anyway, and there's pictures of it lit up light. And that's how I could see it. And so I think, we're waking back up to that version of reality, for one thing, that there's beyond this body, there's like all this light, like you're talking about sacred geometry. And what even is that? Like,
Right.
what is that? But
right.
It's a thing
Yes.
that forms matter.
Everything, yes.
So sorry, physicists. There's a better explanation, but like it's, I think that's one big reason that's exciting to me, that going to Egypt or these other places where we get in connection with the light in a brand new way, and our that part of us that's having an experience there is our light body, and it's our intuition, it's our psychic senses. It's not, it's like a layer of us that gets like really hyper activated even when we think about it, perhaps.
Yeah.
So, it's helping us just realize how multidimensional we really are. And and also, like you guys were talking about, that, well, maybe history maybe there's a different history, maybe there's
Yeah.
different truth, almost like not even that what we've learned isn't a truth, but there's another one. And that's what I've shown over and over.
Yeah.
Like I kept being shown how to look at the hieroglyphics, and it was different than what the historian was saying. It was like, it's saying, like, my guides kept showing, for instance, in the Cairo Museum with one of my new friends that I met there, we both channel in the Akashic records. So we started recording what we were getting, downloading.
Wow.
And there, like, in general, the historians will say the temples were built as tributes to themselves. Like, they were God. They thought they were the end all be all, kind of is how it's implied, right? Like all of, and it's not that at all. It's more, to me, like they knew themselves like we know Jesus knew himself. Like we're all sons and daughters of God. And we're like so open and available and able to create something magnificent for the greater order of things. It wasn't just for them, is what I was seeing. So, and there was a statue in the Cairo Museum where we were channeling about the sun, and there were a lot of images of the sun and DNA, like DNA strands, a lot of places, and how they DNA strands if they don't have technology, right?
And it was so ancient. It's not like they're like surgeons working in bodies or have microscopes looking at cells.
Exactly.
I mean, it's very, I mean,
so how do you know about a DNA strand, right? Like you're not supposed to, but you do. And there it is, right there.
And then there's a lot of alleged information about DNA from, years gone by. And I mean, it's talked about by Bruce Lipton now, where he is like, I'm sorry that I was like, thought a theory was really real. And he apologized by some of the genetics he talked about with DNA.
Yes.
Right? Because he's like, I was preaching this. And it was all based on a theory, not something that was actually real. And then that's how they came upon epigenetics.
Right.
And that was it. That was in like the 80s.
And that is a man who had tools, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about somebody that can actually study all of this and really see the DNA. Back then, there should have been no way that they would have known that based upon what we know how technology works. But obviously the technology was always there and they knew how to access it. If you're talking about a time where they could leave their bodies for 3 years, I mean, that takes a level of super technology or a way of accessing that state of being that, we're barely on the cusp of, and maybe finding that in a little bit of meditation.
Exactly. Yeah. And they knew how to manipulate it. And frankly, they were bringing, I think all these civilizations were new. I mean, we know they were, or we were bringing DNA. We're bringing higher consciousness through DNA. They absolutely knew that. And
my gosh, of course they would know that. I mean, I know nobody's seen The Fifth Element, the movie, but at the very beginning of it, there is this Egyptian man that gets, they're doing like glyphs within a cave or something. And the spaceship comes down, and
I remember
it was with Luke Perry.
Yeah, my husband loves
that movie. Really?
Yeah, love that movie.
Luke Perry was at the very beginning of that, and Bruce Willis was more of the star. They came down with an alien ship and shone a light, and he's like, they were trying to make light, right?
That's right.
And he was like, da da da, light, and all of a sudden the spaceship came down. He's like, thank you, da da da, or whatever his name was.
I know, these things are all under our noses.
I know. And it's like, you know, it came from somewhere, even like if they're imagining a movie and they're creating it based on their imagination,
Yeah.
you've got to think that that imagination is being dropped down from
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and then somebody thinks that they're being really cute bringing in aliens to this future movie with a fifth element, and you got to go,
Yeah.
And there's a reason we like them, and we're called to them. And look at all the Star Wars geekies.
Right.
I know.
Well, let's kind of go into some more of the magic of the spaciousness of being, you know, maybe living in a 3D body, but truly being more of a fifth dimensional being here.
I know, right? Because that's what we are learning to do. And so I mean, I think at this point we can even just having these conversations, we're tapped into the energy of it. And it's definitely pinging us in a way that might be tangible for a lot of people listening, because it's like it's a place that has the platform that's what I was shown just this week more was like it's being spread around the world, and it is very much like they had, if not asked, they had aspects, if not even more, of the Christ consciousness going on, what we call Christ like consciousness, which, you know, there are like ancient laser images of the flower of life in one of the temples. And then Akhenaten was one of the pharaohs that led, and he, some may or may not know, he brought this idea of us being divinely connected straight with God and not having all the gods and goddesses. And some say he also was the soul of Jesus. And every time I ask, and I've asked friends too, we get a yes for that, which is super wild. Like, and even the worship of the sun was, what we got while we were there was like, that's the closest representation of source that we have. Like, we feel heat from the sun. Frankly, we wouldn't be here without the sun. It's all
Sure.
And so that's why they worshiped the sun, because they knew also, like in that statue where there was DNA, they knew that our DNA came from the sun, which interpret as source, or like the SON of light. You know, there's plays on words, but it was very clear that they knew what we are also relearning. And so it's just this field that's opening up. I kind of see it right now as a flower blossom, like a rose that's open now, and it's spreading around the world. And I think that's why we're talking about it today, is just, you know, that's why we're drawn to it. We get so much when we go there. We also bring so much to it when we go there, because everyone who goes there is a conduit for more codes, more of the light. That's what we did on our trip a lot, was channel light code.
Wow. It really seems like the ancients really took a lot of time giving gratitude back to the waters and the rains and the.
I was gonna say, well, if you think about the time, like took the time out, is what you said, right? Well, I always talk about how they didn't have these very invasive phones or the technology that we use it for, right? Like the media, and you had a lot more space between you and your neighbor. Even if you lived in communities, you had more time to sit in more solitude. And so thus, I think that is one of the bigger messages that I've channeled as well, that we're just not sitting in enough silence to receive our downloads, and that we are not asking the right questions. So that was another big thing. And at the time, whenever we're talking about the ancient technology, yes, they had those technologies, but they also had a lot more solitude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk it in reference with the Akashic records now.
Sure.
If the Akashic records are the map of everyone's, timelines as a collapse even,
Mhm.
what are you seeing, Suzanne?
Yeah. Is that an
Well,
accurate statement?
that they're yes, I believe we're collapsing timelines. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I see with it, and a lot of what I do actually, like in my Akashic Records work and program, is especially from Egypt, is culling those lifetimes where we have been like that, like this, like we want to be, like where we have been either healers or intuitives or in some form like the ideal genomic expression of us, which is happening again. We are recreating the genome now. So what I see and do over and over is resurrect those like templates from other lifetimes and bring them forward, and then they do kind of go away. Like we're calling sort of like the gems from our other lifetimes that we want to carry with us now, almost like an excavation. And then the others don't need to be part of our, really part of us anymore, because it doesn't really matter. It's more like, oh, we want to take these skills, this wisdom with us moving forward in this life, and then they do kind of collapse and they're not really that relevant. I mean, but it's super informative also to know where you've been or who you've been. I think it's been instrumental in helping us like know ourselves and trust that until we until we can reach a phase where we don't need that as anything that defines us anymore. Which I think we're probably about ready for. Like we've realized, oh, okay, I have done those things. That was me, that happened. But what am I here for in this present moment? None of that really does matter in that kind of scope of it. So in that way, it can collapse. And I do think, we're choosing and choosing and choosing based on what we've seen. But then there's also the forward, which I don't get into so much, but there's like the future versioning that what I do get into with future versioning of ourselves is choosing, consciously saying, choose the highest timeline, choose the timeline where you're most joyful, choose the options that you want to choose, because that's going to take you in that future pathway, but in the present. So I just overall see it as a tool for understanding, but energetically, it's been very, very important sort of to consolidate who we are into this time, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, because as Dolores Cannon and her work talks about, even in her hypnosis session, she says, because this is the present time, this is where we are right now, and this is the most important time for this particular soul, right? So, and this particular experience. So it's very interesting that you have that perspective. The other question I was going to ask is, how did you come about some of this information? Like, I know you said a lot of it's dropping in, but you also mentioned that you had kind of been getting a lot of this since you were younger. How did you not run from that?
Well, no, I didn't really start until like 9 years ago. So I didn't have this when I was growing up. I did. I have memories of working with my guides as a very young girl. I did not. I spent like 30 years not even.
Okay, I was like, if I was a young person and I start getting all of this
No.
dropped in at this level, I'd be like, whoa, I'm not sure that I
No,
don't
I
know that
didn't
I've
at all.
been brave enough.
I was a total yahoo.
I can relate.
But I would have experiences that
Sure.
I do, like I lived in Poland for 2 years, and I was in the Peace Corps, and at the very end, this woman came to me that lived in my little town, and I could understand Polish enough to understand, and she told me all about
How
a
fun.
vision, like you were saying, of Mother Mary in the forest. And why she came and told me that is anybody's guess, except Mother Mary said, "Go tell Suzanne
Yeah,
that." Like it's so,
Yeah.
it's so
like
true.
I was in this certain place and she just walked in and I just listened and I could understand and I thought, yeah, but it still didn't like turn on that connection for me yet.
I've had the strangest
Wow.
things like that too.
You know what this is bringing up for me is how it seems that this culture has made so many things wrong,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
like, and I was reading on the chat, it was saying, it's astrology is the devil kind of thing.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
And Wicca, we talked about that with Inbal
Yeah.
being this wrongness.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first channeled Nostradamus, which is still
It
weird to
was
say,
wrong.
I was terrified. I mean,
Possessed man. Well,
because
Yeah.
I grew up thinking all of that was witchcraft, black
Yep.
magic. I mean, all of it, like scary.
yeah,
Someone, people had taught me this in my family and
I
our
know.
upbringing.
Yeah, the Ouija board was
Yeah.
so wrong, and now we're like, well, wait a second. There's something that made these things popular, that brought some sort of magic to the
Oh,
world.
too, like
Yeah, tarot. I was just like, that's a card game.
Suzanne, I want people to get a little bit of experience for
Yeah.
your work, and I didn't know if it would be appropriate to ask you maybe to do like a group something or to just take a couple of questions from the audience.
Maybe let's do a couple of questions and then a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Attunement. Does that feel good? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
that feels really
do
light.
two, and then we'll do that and see how much time we have left. If
Sounds-
there are, yeah.
Great.
Lovely.
Great.
Yeah.
So go ahead and raise your hand or ask a question on the chat if you have a question for Suzanne. I have a question for Suzanne though.
Ooh. Suzanne's pretty awesome.
I've been playing with control just in general in my life, where I'm just not allowing the universe to be my guide. In fact, I started dialoguing with my body and literally saw that some of the things that's going on with the mechanism of my body right now is that I'm not allowing myself to be guided. And I've been playing with these dragons and the shadow wielding this, to create change around it. What would be your way of creating change around something that might seem even pretty stuck and solidified in our bodies?
Mm.
Mm.
Well, I've been doing that a lot with cancer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That is why I'm like, if I'm going to ask about bodies, she's really the one, because it seems that you've shadow wielded that out of your body in your existence.
And continues. Yeah, it's quite and what's underneath it. So what would be my okay, well, first of all of a sudden the archangels have come in. So there's that energy that's available that is going to play into what we do, but I think it's also going to be with Isis. So I'm just going to tap in a little bit to take a minute to tap in, Jenith, just for this bigger question. Okay, yeah, these are the archangels, and we're so delighted to be here with you today. We're offering, in this time that you are together, we're offering a transitory pass at some energetic upgrades if you'd like them. So just start to say yes if you'd like to start to receive an energetic,
Yes.
it's like this direction, an energetic uplift of your heart. Well, all of your chakras, to get like, get like forward and upward movement into the new timelines that are presenting themselves, especially because of 3i Atlas.
Is this your left
Wow.
or your right?
This is my right.
What does that mean? It's my right, or does it mean it's my left?
This is just in general. I think everyone's right. Yeah, everyone's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
That's
And
I like being right.
so do I. Control much?
I know.
That's a good question for I have same challenge. Okay, so like moving forward and then up towards the higher timeline, and that's not outside of yourself, that's within yourself, but it's sort of what I'm getting is like kind of associating with where your crown, where your higher self wants to position you energetically is what that, not like going outside of yourself, because you are source, like we're talking about, but an upliftment into a higher vibration that that's part of the answer to your question, Jeneth, because when we can get into higher planes, those things can dissipate, like control. So the short answer for something like control, now it's different. This is the archangels. It's different than before. These types of archetypes, if you want to call that an archetype, archetypal experience that you have going on in your experience, which would be defined as one of having too much control. That's how you might look at it. It's not you, it's an archetypal experience that you're in the midst of, energetically speaking. So because of that, you can more easily these days, especially with this new light coming through 3i Atlas and Sophia and the beyond, you can allow yourself to open and be the best thing we can describe is to sit in the presence of the control and allow yourself to dissipate it, because more source light is really the be all end all for you. It's the core of who you are, and that is just an archetypal experience of the controller in you. And so you can let it, like, depixelate is the way I see it, or let it away. Rather than harshly,
I got it,
putting it away, kind of like let it fall. But and the key is to have your heart tangentially really being like directly source, not just connected with, being source, like knowing,
like truly being the sun,
our source. Yeah, you are, and you're burning it away.
So instead of going to the connection, really embody being it.
And you bring more of that to this reality.
Yeah, actually, that's really, really helpful. I've actually, like, that explains some experiences I've had this week with going into the field, and then like 3 hours later, massive release of what I know is like Cancer energetics, whatever level, and it's like the part of me that is defined by that has been massively being purged out of me by doing this. So this is new, and I'm grateful to hear their explanation, because it's just been an experience with no words so far. So another expression that I just heard by some guides is that are our higher selves is my light is what heals me. My light is the source of my healing.
Wow, that's powerful.
Wow.
Yeah. And saying that. And I kind of just see like Jenith, like with control, that taking place of that part that is controlling. If that makes sense. Like let that become the core, that source of you become the core, and the rest fades away lovingly. It's all love.
Yep.
It's like, okay, now you can go to the light. You can be transmuted. So it's very different,
That's
actually.
exciting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like different
is
than
really
how it used to be, where it used to be like, I transmute this to the light.
Yeah,
I
like
get
calling
what
on the Pleiadians, what can you do? Calling on your dreams, what can you do? You know, and
No,
and
I
which
get it.
which case it's actually within me, and I'm not acknowledging or working with that energy within me necessarily to truly say yes to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of my core messages in like my messaging
Mhm.
about, you know, being and getting that wisdom from our higher selves. But I too do find myself outside seeking, whether it be, you know, through even through news, right? Like
Mhm.
just outside seeking information that that I, you know, I think that zaps my energy anyway.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting how it subconsciously can hide itself.
Yeah.
Suzanne,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
just
caller
read
that
yeah. Did
that
you?
I just unmuted, that you just unmuted, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, hi. I just saw that Renee was before me. So I am quite honest. I would like to ask, but she was earlier than me. So,
It's
Oh,
okay.
go ahead.
Both.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
okay.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
sweet.
I would like to ask, it's especially two questions. First, is it Zal's Amenti, Esmeralda Book of Tooth? Is it same as Akashic Records, or it's different?
Mm. That's a good question. I'm going to tune in about that. The Halls of Menti, the book of Tahath. I learned by our guide to call him Tahath. Yes, in part it's the same. You could call it a fragment of the Akashic records. It's a very, very, very specific aspect of the golden layer of Akash that comes through this channel known as Tahath through the teachings. And so you could think of that as a section of the Akashic records library would be a way to think of it. Just as almost everything, it could be looked at like that. It's a sliver of that, and it's part of it's relevant now for the genetic recombining that we're doing. So those of you that are called into that work, you might follow that train of thought and teaching, because it's helping you genetically recombine yourself into the new versioning of the what we would call even like the divine human in this timeline. And so it's very relevant for a lot of you if you're called to it. And yes, it takes precedence over some of the other things in the Akashic library, in that for those who are drawn to it, it's more like a higher vibration teaching than some other things you might find on those same topics. So that's very interesting. Thanks for asking that.
Thank you very
Yeah, that
much.
was,
I
thank you.
began to, I was on one course and I began to come into this Amenti, but I try to understand because I see this violent flame, I feel this high frequencies, but I hear voices. but I don't see a so bright picture of this.
Yeah. Well, just keep doing that because it evolves over time. Your senses have to get
Yes.
all recombined to perceive the whole picture, essentially. Yeah. So
And this is mostly, as you said, to decode our DNA, to feel more uplifted, or what is, I try to understand what can be, because I just in the beginning, I try to learn what to do there. And
yeah, to assimilate your true nature is one way to look at it. The true divine blueprint that is yours for these times is the easiest way to say, to focus on it. So that's what we were talking about earlier with opening psychic skills and wisdom that's coming through you, that your higher self wants to like bring through you, or that you might be here to teach, that kind of thing. So really the purpose for that for you would be accessing, it's all codes, it's all your like genetic recombination of your light body. It's a lot of things in order to sort of be like turning into a new kind of butterfly, they're saying, at a higher timeline. So up leveling, upgrading, feeling better, that kind of thing. Sure. Yes. Healing.
thank you very much. So I think that if it's still time to ask Renee, so I thought about two questions, but it's better to that Renee ask because it's
Okay.
a bit.
Well, maybe
Thank
we
you very
ask.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Renee, you're up.
Hi.
Hi.
I had a question about an encounter I had with a dung beetle that came up on my balcony, and it was a large black beetle, and it flipped over, and so I put it right side up, and I've never stopped thinking about it, and I'm just curious about the message.
Oh, well, okay. That's really interesting because I heard a recording about when I learned about this, and we walked into a temple, a dendera, and on the like there's a gate that we went into, and it showed the underbelly of the beetle, and that represents the dark mysteries. So I think it was, I would say it was showing you to go there.
To my dark mysteries, or just any?
Yeah,
that sounds exciting.
Dark mysteries, yeah. What we think, it's not like dark like evil. It's like the subconscious, the dark, maybe shadow, but not in a dark way, if that makes sense. Like what you don't know could really serve you. What you're not seeing in plain daylight, go into in a different way. So through meditation, ask in meditation what to be shown by your higher self and your guides. What does that mean? What are the dark mysteries as related to me? It was clearly like, dude, like it did it so profoundly.
It did.
That's funny. Does that resonate, Renee?
It does, but I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know that I fully understand about the dark mysteries. Is it subconscious stuff or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's stuff that it is what we're bringing into the light too now. So I think you'll find out what it is for you very specifically.
Okay, I just need to ask more.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. It's funny, like a lot of people come on these calls and they ask questions about unusual things like that. Like I keep paying attention to this, I keep paying attention to this. But I mean, Suzanne, I feel like people need tools. Like We had another one on the chat that's like, I don't know why things are falling off my wall today. I do a lot of
Yeah.
Reiki. But I mean, if I think I would be almost opposed to go, well, what do you know about this?
Right.
Right? Because it seems that, I mean, yes, they can go through you to get confirmation, but I think I'd like to kind of invite them to like go, what do I know? You know,
That's
what spirits, what ghosts, or whatever is energetically moving things for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So yeah, what are the dark mysteries for me is the question. But
Mhm.
I saw that about the things falling off the wall. I would say sit in the room and ask very, very clearly to be shown what is the meaning of this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I mean, that's how we cultivate our intuition.
Tuition.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
you kind of have
I,
to sit there, ask, have a pen, light a candle, and
Yep.
like kind of wait around sometime and see.
yeah. What is it that I know that I'm not listening to here? I'm
Yeah,
not
those
paying
are some good
attention.
questions.
Usually when something happens and I'll look at the clock and it's like 5:55 or 3:33, I'm like, thank you for the confirmation.
And I
Yeah.
think it's important to also point out that when you sit down with like maybe your journal or whatever, I used to have this thing like, oh, I didn't write anything profound, right? Or I didn't write anything, but I was scribbling, and
Mhm.
that also has its own
Mhm.
coding, its own codex, and you know, it can be
Yeah.
glyphs, it could be one word. Sometimes I've written a sentence of words that my guide specifically said, or my higher self said, when you see this in your reality, you're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
Because you know, there was a level of disbelief at the time.
Yeah.
And the other really cool thing is that you can take that and you can start to find your patterns in that. And so you'll find themes if you're using maybe the same journal. It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways that our higher selves, that our wisdom is trying to communicate with us.
Yeah, I know. Looking at the patterns, going back and reading what you wrote because it didn't come through you consciously, then you see it and you're like, wow, I wrote that.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I have some moments like that. And then it makes me
another-
feel better.
Yeah, another thing I like to do is talk into my voice memos on my phone and
I
just
do
turn
too.
it on. If you're a vocal channel,
Yep.
like, okay, I'm listening, and then kind of go in and say, and I teach things like this, like, just start talking. Like, okay, right now it's all dark. I'm asking what's going on with these pictures falling off. It's dark. What is the what does the dark mean? Kind of like just keep describing what's happening.
Yes.
And then often out of that, then it's kind of like, oh, I see this really weird light inside my head. Okay, I noticed that. Okay, next.
Yeah.
That's one way I teach to tap into your intuition, is to, you've got to start subtly, it's subtle, and learn to follow the little breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm
those are
so
different.
glad you said that.
Like, they're different for everyone. Like, for you,
Yeah.
fine. For others, it might be what I'm saying. For others, it could be out in the world. Like,
Yeah.
they find a penny and then they stop, and then they do it kind of like that. Like, then they see a bird and that means something.
Mhm.
I mean, all of us can use all of that, but it really does take tuning in and knowing, oh, that's for me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think with Renee, if she would have seen that beetle and thought, wow, that's a message for me, right? I do think that that's how, you know, and then when we are like, open it for questions, then she probably gets pinged inside again because she knows that there's something there. She just hasn't tuned in enough to this was just an invitation for people to tune in more.
Of course. How often would you suggest somebody that was new to this work and wants to start tuning in? Would you make it a daily practice? Would you prescribe that?
I
And for how
mean,
long?
All day, every day.
yeah, exactly. I think if you really want to cultivate, you kind of gotta make a commitment and show that you're trying, you show yourself, you're putting time into it, you
Mhm.
show the universe and your guides that. So daily is really nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it just reminds me of that story when I heard the whole story about Mother Mary 30 years ago. What if I had sat down and said, why did I hear that? I mean, I might have started channeling her. Wait,
Wait, yes, yes,
Right?
30
absolutely,
years went by.
absolutely.
Oh, divine timing. We'll just say
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I thought that was really important to point out because my life didn't change until my guides told me to open my records daily, even if it was for 10 minutes, and just start writing. And then, like you said, the voice memo. If I was typing, and then at first I was journaling, then I was typing, and then the stuff was just coming out so fast I couldn't keep up with my typing. So I just
Yeah.
opened a voice memo,
Yeah.
and then my voice changed, and that threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
I got an accent, and I was like, oh, okay, this is different. But it also
Yeah.
really let me know that what I was having was absolutely real.
Yes, I think that, I mean, you know when it's real and when you're just making it up.
Yeah.
And I think at the beginning, when you're working your intuition,
And
you
it's
really feel like, you're like, really?
It's
Am I just
okay
making it up?
to doubt it
Yeah.
too, though. Just
Yeah.
keep working it. Just keep, it's like a muscle. It's like a workout.
Yeah.
You feel great when you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I spent a lot of time just sitting there in the dark,
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Amberjaw
I-
did the same,
In
right?
the dark. Wow.
Mhm.
I don't even feel like I need the dark. I feel like it's just on all the time now.
Yes, of
Right.
course.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't I meant it was dark in here.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it.
I'm like, wait a
Uh-huh.
minute. Like, okay, what's that mean? And I had to like get assimilated. And
Uh-huh.
it became really physical. Like I
Oh,
would be
wow.
I would be moved a lot because I had all this trauma in me that I didn't even know about it. So I had to get like all this stuff shifted around energetically for everything to start turning on because I was like blocked, but I knew
Mhm.
that I needed it or wanted it.
You knew it was coming. It was coming online.
I did. I knew I needed it. But I sat there a lot like, okay, what's the purpose of that? And it would take,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not alone in that, but you just have to, do it when you can. And you can even do it like in nature or while you're walking. I mean, it doesn't have to be that hard, but don't beat yourself up if it takes a while.
Yeah. Well, I want to share special offers. So we share how people can work with you, and then we can decide if we want to do a group activation or something else.
Perfect.
All right. This is literally one of our best-selling packages.
Mhm.
Um,
People are just gravitating to this.
yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about what a session is like with you? It's funny, I had a session with one of our other speakers, and I've listened to it probably 4 or 5 times since then. And every single time it gets deeper, and I sense that your sessions are that way too.
Yes, people do listen to them a number of times. Yeah, so this is going to be really all my readings are within the umbrella of the Akashic records, and that's just how I work. We can do a number of things. We can go in and ask like specific questions like we're doing today, or sometimes it's specific on a past life. Like we could ask which past life or two even are very, very relevant for me at this time that I might want to pay close attention to and learn from and take forward. That's a really, really powerful reading. But it could also be about a health issue. It can be about any question. So we have 30 minutes and it's enough to dive pretty deep into a few areas, unless there's like one overarching. I will say one of the best selling things now, and that I love doing too, is like for people who are having in like doing any kind of project or new business idea or new corporate thing. The guides are very specific tactically. So if you want brass tacks about what to do, you know, you always have free will, so they don't always, there's no prescription like you must do this.
Yes.
They will say, if you do this, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get very specific, like
They are.
yeah, like what to do for branding or what to do for your business. So I love to just share that because they want us to be successful, you know, and happy and do it. So that's another angle that
I'm so glad that you said that.
Yeah.
they could take. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do those.
You guys,
You know, all about leveling. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
also be helping you open your psychic senses too,
Mhm.
or meeting your guides.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
All of it sounds fun.
Yeah, it's all fun and all
It
of
is. It really
Yeah.
is.
yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So
Yeah,
should
if you're looking for the offer, it's at hautehustle.com/Suzanne. hautehustle.com/Suzanne. Suzanne.
It's 12:12 right now.
I know it was just 11:11 here.
Yeah.
I love
1 minute ago, and now
love
it's
it.
12:12 here.
Do we have 3 minutes? Or
We
is
have
that-
3 minutes. Let's do it.
Because there's some message about the House of
Yes.
Menti that I could share
Right.
with the Haute. I think that would be a beautiful way to wrap up.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm just going to do a little light language. Kita tabadia kawatiera. So these are the Egyptian guides. There's so many of them that are here, and to Haute, and the energies of all these beings surround you right now. And if you'd like to investigate yourselves more deeply, first of all, yes, we would love to meet you in sessions with Suzanne. That's one powerful way to start to get activated with your connection with us, and perhaps hone in on a focus that would be relevant. Yeah, that's right. Often they help with a focus of what to do every day to help you open your channel. That's also what they're offering. But with respect to the halls of Menti and the emerald tablets, those are meant to be references for the we were saying earlier that they were saying this, and it's new to me, so I was questioning it. So they're meant to be references, examples, timeline triggers for the supreme being of you. And they've never used the word supreme, so that's why I was like, what? But the supreme beingness of you. So when you tap into the halls, when you tap into the tablets, they're very specifically encoded, encrypted timeline like triggers is what they're showing to help you come out of loopholes and out of loops that you're in, like being controlling or some such. So those would that would be one reason we would say to tap into specifically the halls of Menti, very specifically on your journey. And you can do that by asking, or there are methodologies for that you can find, or you can do it in a session with us through Suzanne, because it is very relevant to this time where you're all igniting a very, very, very supremely powerful in terms of sovereignty. That's what we mean by supreme, but we're talking of supreme as the higher self, true self version of you. That's one term that might strike as the supreme version of you that is becoming idealized now at these times, where it's pure love and pure light and the pureness of God consciousness expressed as you, expressed as your own personality. So that would be one blessing we would prescribe if we could as something to reference and allow even in your sleep time to open and surface. And right now, even there's gene codes that are being activated for everyone along those lines. So whether you do anything further, there's a resonance shift that happened because you've been here. And that is part of our, they're saying that's part of our gift today. And the halls await you if they call. They will be calling to many, even in future timelines, because of the power and the prestige of the sovereign codes that lie therein.
Wow.
Okay, that's really powerful.
It is. It is. It really is. I'm glad that we got that on the recording. We'll have to send that to you too. It was so insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad Svetlana asked about that.
Me too.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The cool thing when you do get Suzanne's offer, not only do you get that one-on-one session, but you also get those 4 goddess-led sessions in her community.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, there's, I mean, what I hear about your community is it's quite the community. So if you're led to Suzanne, you're led to this work, that might be something for you to
have fun,
to dive deeper into.
Remembering that. Yeah. You can come live and ask questions like this, and there's always a message. There's always messaging like this too. Yeah,
fabulous. So again, the link is hautehustle.com/Suzanne if you are looking for it, and you can find it also on where there's words within our newsletter and things like that, and in the YouTube description.
Thank you so much.
Gosh, you guys, this was a very fun call.
It
very
was
different.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Isn't it fun how like quickly time flies when we're in the halls?
I know.
I don't even know
in
how.
the halls. quite literally.
Literally.
Halls.
I think I almost passed out.
Cheers.
Thank you to Haute. We'll be there.
Yes.
In the halls.
Love it. Amazing. I can't wait to have you back on our January series again. It's just such a joy to have you around, and you just bring a different light always.
I know. She was grumpy earlier. She's back.
Grumpy Jenna. We dissolved Grumpy Jenna.
But then now that my control is gone because I'm the sun.
Done and done. Now just
That's
go play golf or something.
Love it.
All right. Stick around, you guys, just for a couple more announcements.
All right. Thanks so much.
Suzanne.
Great to be here. Bye-bye.
A couple of announcements. We have the summit that Jenna just mentioned coming up in January. So make sure that you mark your calendar. It's I was going to say November. It is January 5th through the 9th. And we're going to have 3 speakers a day, including our beloved Suzanne.
Yep.
So
and we are really moving into seasons instead of just a random summit here and there. So we've got all of 2026 planned out with 4 summits, all on different challenges to take you through the depths of who you really are.
And don't worry, we'll still be here every Tuesday and Thursday with the season and the live talk show. So we've got some really fun stuff percolating for that as well. And we've got people that are coming on. So we're going to be talking aliens next week.
Next week we're talking aliens.
It's really cool. It's fascinating. Dr. Saleg, if I'm saying that correctly, he actually works on a Netflix series. They're put out a really, really interesting book about the CIA and all of the insider information that he has. I swear, he was just talking with Jimmy Church, and I was checking out some of his videos, and I could turn it off, and I was so dead tired that evening because it was so captivating. So we'll have that next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. So be sure to join us.
Yeah, we're taking off on Thursday for Thanksgiving, but we will. Wow, we've got some fun things happening
Yeah.
here.
Working on the set here.
Yeah, we're working on the set to make it all cozy and very more party-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely just want to invite you to like and subscribe the channel if you're checking it out on YouTube. And if you want to find out on YouTube, you just search Haute Hustle. It is how we continue to activate this and grow and activate the light here on Earth. The other thing too is that we wanted to just remind you that we always benefit, a portion of the proceeds goes to benefit women and youth related causes. Right now we are supporting rising.up.org, and Rising Up is a organization that started by kids who take in laptops and tablets for use to give to other kids and women for use in education and wellness.
Yeah.
You know, if you're dealing with something, if you've got something going on, there's a lot of energies moving around. If you're really just struggling, email us. We want to hear from you. We want to be able to support you. This is a community, and we love you so much. So thank you for joining us always.
Yeah, we will have a Black Friday sale happening that comes out next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's just for 4 days. So make sure that if you want something special for yourself or somebody else, make sure you jump on
Yeah,
that.
it's a really great deal. It's 25% off. So I'm just going to explain it. It's 25% off on any products that we host. So you'll be able to tell that because we have that branding on our
Yeah, it says Haute Hustle in the URL.
It does, and it says it at the bottom, so you can tell that. So it's any of the special offers that we host that is an evergreen. So it's not, you know, like
And
something.
we'll have, and the season ends at the end of December. So make sure that if you miss something that's at houtehustle.com/live and you want to watch it, you got to watch it before December 31st.
Oh, thank you for reminding us. So yes, be sure to do all those and go back and watch the ones that resonated. I promise you will hear something different every time. Well, we are Haute Hustle, and we're just reminding you to take a little time to enjoy the. Have a great day, y'all.
Bye, everyone. See you next Tuesday.